Can you count
You bet.
on the solid economy to be a winner for Republicans in the midterms, where trade tensions and tariffs loom in the background?
Yeah, I was just listening to your last segment, and of course, everyone sees the news now, 4.1 GDP growth. And I think it's important to realize we just finished the tax cut 6 months ago. And so already it's about what macro policy predicts, the 6-month lag, and boom, the economy's booming. Jobs are booming. African-American, Hispanic unemployment at record lows. Kids out of college that I taught economics to for 20 years are getting multiple job offers now. They're contacting me regularly. And so it's not just about the economy. I mean, it's everything, right? The Democrats don't have any agenda that I'm aware of. Steny Hoyer came out with an economic agenda the other day. It was just one page of rhetoric. But they have no bills, no policies to put on. Not one Democrat voted for the tax cuts, which are now causing massive economic growth and opportunity for everyone. And then they want open borders, and the list just goes on and on and on. And so I don't think they have an agenda. We have a pro-growth agenda. We've just got done passing with Ann Wagner. I was on her bill with her on solving the human trafficking problem. The opioid problem, we did a massive bill. Mental health, we did a massive bill. So Republicans are producing real world results, and the Democrats are just resisting and rhetoric right now. They'd say, we want to do a new rhetoric or something. Well, what does that mean, right? What does that mean for your family? And so I think we got a great track record.
Well, I don't know about open borders when it comes to immigration, but certainly the Democrats want more open borders when it comes to trade, it would appear. Put your old professor of economics hat back on. And do you agree with this administration's approach to tariffs around the world, slapping them on everywhere they find them?
Well, a financial channel like yours, I did a PhD in economics. It's not just about trade, right? It's about geopolitics and China. And so the important thing in economics, and make sure you ask your analytical folks to find out what has been the cost of China's policies on the U.S. over the past couple decades. How many millions of jobs have we lost from Chinese intellectual theft, higher trade barriers from the Chinese, not to mention the rest of the world. So the goal, the White House says the goal is zero tariffs. And so usually the Democrats have a tougher thing on this than we do. But we're hoping that this is just the first moves. Like with Europe, we got some good news back. They say they're open to negotiating and bringing down tariff rates. So that's the goal. And unfortunately, the past presidents in both parties have not done anything on not just the tariff issue, right, but on North Korea, on Iran, on Russia, all of those issues, right, Crimea, Ukraine, billions of dollars to Iran, nothing done on North Korea. That's the last administration did nothing or harm. And our party now, it looks like, is making real successful gains on all fronts.
Okay, but until you get a solution with China, it also means more pain for farmers, the agricultural community. The solution of this administration is to give out $12 billion to farmers. How will you pay for that? That goes into the deficit. It adds to more debt.
Yeah, well, the media is always concerned with small numbers out of us. To get the budget passed with the Democrats, the last budget, we had to plus up the budget $400 billion. So if you're concerned with 12, I don't think that's in the right range of relevance, right? To get 9 Senate Democrat votes, we had to plus up the budget $400 billion over what we wanted in the Republican House. And so that's where the numbers are. We have revenues flowing in like crazy right now with 4.1. Report on those federal revenue numbers. In Virginia, the coffers are overflowing at the state level. Government revenues are soaring right now. So the problem on the balanced budget part, we have $1 trillion deficits, right? We need to get control of spending any day now. The Republicans are trying to reduce spending. The Democrats, of course, want bigger government. They don't know what a cut is, right? They want bigger government across the board. Every one of the appropriations bills, more spending, more federal intrusion. And, of course, Republicans want to bring that money back down to states and localities. I was just with my police officers and sheriffs in the state, and they want that opioid money down in the local Henrico, Chesterfield police and sheriff departments, because that's where the action is.
So, Congressman, we've talked about this before. I know you don't believe in the level of fiscal deficits that we're running right now. And the fact is, we're going the wrong direction. It's getting higher. It's not getting lower. And with great respect to you, sir, I don't think it's an answer to most Americans to say the Democrats made me do it. I mean, you got a majority in the House, you got a majority in the Senate, and that's sort of what we hear is the Democrats blame the Republicans blame the Democrats. In the meantime, we're spending ourselves into the poorhouse.
Well, I respectfully disagree with you because there's something called evidence. we had a House bill that was not plussed up $400 billion. So it's not blaming, it's saying what happened.
Did you get it passed?
To get
did you get it passed?
Senate Democrats.
Well, you had a bill, but did you get it passed?
Well, we passed it in the.
And that
That's
became the
what
law?
I'm telling you. Why didn't the Senate pass it? Because you need 9 Senate Democrats to get to 60 in the Senate. And so we had to plus up spending. Our tax cuts are $150 billion this year. They're paid for. Right? If you grow at 3%, we're going to grow at 4%. So for the year, hopefully, we'll get up to 3.5% growth. The Obama economists told us just get used to 2%. That's the new normal, right? That was the new orthodoxy coming from leftist economists. We don't believe in that. Americans are exceptional across the board. We just passed great education bills. We got business certificate programs, technical training in the K-12 and higher ed bills. Yeah. We want to put the kids into the job market, and there's no upper bound. So I just disagree.
Well, Congressman, let's go back to your PhD in economics. I think that you would agree that the real problem here is entitlements. You can fiddle around with discretionary spending all you want, but unless we really reform Social Security, reform Medicare, reform Medicaid, we are going to go bankrupt. And yet, when was the last time the House passed a bill for substantial reform of any of those entitlement programs? I didn't see it.
Actually, the House budget, we did tackle that. That was embedded in the House budget. The Senate, again, said no to all that, so it went away. I'm on the House Budget Committee. We're doing it again right now. But the Democrats run ads with Paul Ryan and grandmas and Cliffs, et cetera. So when you get a chance to talk to a Democrat, see if they will pledge to work together without running nasty ads, telling falsehoods and scaring people, and really get down to work and trying to do the people's business. Because you're right, Medicare is bankrupt, insolvent in 8 years. In 2026, the latest report. That's 8 years. Social Security not far behind. 2034, that's 2/3 of the budget right now. So you're right, that's where the numbers are. And that's going to take some discipline, right? But the Democrats don't have any bills, any solutions. We do. We have them on paper. The other side of the aisle is just doing rhetoric and resist, but they have no policy positions on paper. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Okay, Congressman, it's great to talk to you, and I promise you, I give my word of honor, I will be just as tough on a Democrat as I am on a Republican. I'm just trying to ask the questions so you can express your point of view, because that's what our audience wants to hear.
No, that's right. They deserve the truth, and I'll give it to you.